Hi.
Whoa,
Hi.
It's us.
It's the us. The people.
Mm-hmm. Who is the people?
Who is the people indeed?
Who are any of us people, though?
Hey, E.
Define
What's
a
up?
people.
Could I go into the properties and make sure everything is set to how we like it to be set?
Yeah, sure. Alright, we're going back to starting soon, thanks. We're back. But who is we? Let's start right
I mean, the
to
Wii is a
left.
gaming system, so...
I am Sam, thank you.
Alright, middle.
I am not Sam.
Alright.
And, who the fuck are you?
Oh my gosh. Well,
Keep talking, guys.
Alright,
Okay.
I'll try this as little sound bit things.
cool. So this is post-credits.
Mm-hmm.
We record this after our main podcast every Saturday. Wow.
Wow.
We
Even though it goes up every Thursday, but
yeah, but
that's neither here nor there.
yeah. No, I mean post-credits is every Saturday.
Oh yeah, post-credits is.
We talk about what we watched over the past. This is gonna be past 2 weeks, basically.
Yeah, this was a little bit of a weird one. I'm gonna echo no matter what.
It's like,
Go ahead and talk, Sammy.
that's very loud.
Me? Hello.
Super loud.
Ouch.
Way too much.
A little bit better.
Yeah, I'm talking.
Can you-
I'm still talking. Salutations, greetings. Ohio.
Interesting.
Ohio.
Nasai.
Welcome to the Grapple
We're
Store.
figuring everything out. Wow.
Wow.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
That means this mic is all mine for like half a second.
Entertainmental, guys.
Okay,
So have you watched anything this week?
yes, I watched a lot of things this week, actually,
Cool.
which
Probably
we'll
more than me.
talk about. We watched, Doctor Strange.
Oh, the new one?
Yeah, in IMAX.
Nice.
3D. And it was pretty cool. Did you watch anything, Robbie?
I did.
Cool.
So like the first thing that I ended up watching is I finally binged all the way through. Well, I don't even think I binged it because like I binged the first 4 episodes and then I watched it like another episode each night for Peacemaker.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the HBO show.
Yeah, I watched.
Good show.
It was a really good show.
I feel Dry will probably have a lot to say about it when he comes back. But I did watch that. I also,
Hopefully things are a little better now.
I mean, hopefully, it just sounds the same here, but you have a better idea of what it sounds like on the actual stream. So,
Go ahead and talk, Sam.
Okay, I'm talking. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. 1, 2, 3.
besides that, another thing, I did watch some documentaries. Like, I finally watched all the way through Class Action Lawsuit and Nightcrawler. I think that's the name of that movie. One with Jake Gyllenhaal in it.
Nightcrawler, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I watched all the way through Nightcrawler finally because I started watching it and then like put it to the side and then forgot about it and then finally saw it on my Netflix list of like, hey, you want to finish watching this? And finally finished watching it. A little bit different than what I expected it was going to be, but it was still a good movie. Also,
Go ahead and
you know,
talk, E.
Hello, I'm probably here, I hope. I'm speaking with my voice, possibly.
Dry also keeps on turning E up for some reason.
Yeah, their mics are real quiet.
Really?
It doesn't sound quite to me.
Like
You're
all of them?
listening to it.
I'm listening to this, though.
So I'm guessing all the mics are sounding quiet then?
Yeah.
Hmm.
We're also getting quite a bit of dropped frames.
Might be a connection issue, maybe?
Maybe, I don't know. I don't know.
Good old technical difficulties.
Always.
Yeah, we love them.
That's why we do it so much.
Yeah, we would just have perfect streams if we didn't just love the technical difficulties of it all.
It is how it is.
It is. It is that way because that's just the way it is.
That's how it be sometimes, you know? On this bitch of an earth, as they say. I guess
sounding better for you guys? Less loud in your ear?
Less loud in the ear, yeah.
Less loud, yeah.
I don't hear the fan or fridge or whatever as much, yeah.
No, that's not even what I'm worried about.
That's just what I heard.
It's just like general
mostly.
audio on Dryzen that he's worried about.
Yeah, we're just real quiet.
Is everything
Not
plugged in
good.
alright?
Yeah, everything's plugged in okay. It
Is it
might
just
just be a general power issue right now with everything that we have plugged in.
Maybe.
Would make sense.
It's like the power company was like, okay, for some reason they keep on using a bunch of power on Saturday, so we're just gonna crank that down on Saturday.
They just give them 20% power on Saturdays.
Yeah. Oh no, E fell.
Ow. Oh god.
The pain.
Ouchie. Alright. Back up. Hello.
Oh, were we not up?
No, I meant.
E fell.
Oh. I was like, oh.
No. Ooh, yeah, we're dropping a lot of frames again.
Yeah, we are. Which is troubling since we're not doing anything yet.
What's the bitrate like?
It's hard to say. I could tell you we have 1.1% dropped frames so far.
Feels like that's a lot of frames.
Or percent. More than should be. 6183 kilobytes per second. I don't.
Also, I can
Some weird
hear
background
neighbors.
noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the
Is
window?
that window open?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No. There's just some children.
Yeah, if anything, you could probably try dropping the
screaming,
bitrate a little
so
bit.
it's getting weird.
That might help.
Here, maybe. Yeah, let me check my settings again. Settings. Output. What do you want
I'm
to?
going to go ahead and close the window.
Yeah, I feel like 6,000 kilobits is a lot.
Yeah, what do you think?
You say it's a lot, it's a lot.
No,
Oh, I don't know.
give me a number to change it to. I don't know what it.
You could try 2,500 maybe.
All right.
Like, it's not going to look as crisp, but
No, but
you'll get better frames.
truthfully,
Get more frames of dry as ass in the frame.
we have 160 audio bitrate.
I feel like that should be fine.
Yeah. Audio stuff there. And you said we're kind of low? Like on stream?
Yeah.
I can try to change that.
Oh, I think we're good now.
Are we? Maybe it was the drop frames then, yeah.
Yeah, it might have been the whole bitrate thing.
May very well have been.
Yeah, because I feel like 6,000 kilobits is quite a bit.
Zafuna Oni Kami says, nice and loud now.
Hooray!
Can you
Hey.
hear a lot of background noise? That's another concern.
And personally, over the microphones, I can hear the
like it.
fans from the computer, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can put you back up without falling again.
Just duct tape me to the drapes.
It's not the sound you're hearing from the computer, it's from the fridge over there.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
But everybody is sounding pretty good, I think, now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't
Even
think
though me
it's
and
a
Dra have
fridge,
to-
It's just like some
Okay,
background.
yeah.
We're
they-
sounding fine. We don't have to move around. We're
Yeah,
good where
they
we are.
say
really.
a slight soft hum, but otherwise no.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's
the
a fridge.
must be bleeding a little bit, but
It's a fan or a fridge or something.
We could
Now I feel or sound echoey.
put the noise gate up a little bit if
maybe.
we
Let me see
needed.
if I can remember where it is.
Say normally it's not like
Advanced
too
audio.
bad, but
Not advanced audio. Filters.
There
noise
it
Yeah.
is.
I forget how these work. Close or open.
Close.
Go to the left or right? More or less decibels we want. I generally
You
don't.
want that where it was, I think.
Okay.
And I guess open threshold a little bit less, maybe.
Which way's less? Like,
There'll be like less decibels.
we're
Or-
in the negatives.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's supposed to be like when you're at 0 decibels, you're peaking.
Okay. So make it a higher number then?
Yeah.
Okay.
A higher negative number, if you will.
Alright. Let's try that and see if we still have a hum. If not, we'll throw the fridge out the window.
Slight hum. I think we're just gonna have that for the fridge.
Yeah, that just might be a thing for the stream tonight.
All
That's
I
something
hear is
that,
like a fan or something in the background. Doesn't sound like the fridge to me.
It's a fan in the fridge, but
Yeah.
It's literally. The
it is
fridge.
what it is.
Okay.
I think that will probably be less apparent whenever we're actually playing a game later.
Yeah, and we're all yelling at each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, yeah. Well, as always, we'll try to improve that in the future.
Right.
But, alright. So, Robbie ate some Nightcrawlers and watched Peacemaker.
I ate some Nightcrawlers out of a Peacemaker. Yes, that was definitely what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Good. I like that.
I felt.
Yeah, and E
Good.
fell again.
Yeah,
Just
you're
leave
just
me.
gonna keep falling, E. I don't know what to tell you.
You can't, like, push me more towards the wall?
No,
Because
we're
they
not
can
on the
fall
wall.
behind the couch.
Oh.
Mhm.
There's on. Okay.
Yeah. I know the camera tricks. You think there's a wall, and there's not a wall
Yeah.
there.
No, there's not.
Also, Zafin saying, it's not bad, can't hear it over anyone talking, so alright.
Right, and that's
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
what Dry is like saying is that over us talking, as long as we hold the conversation, no one's really going to notice. If we go
Yeah.
quiet,
Yeah.
Once the
people will
game is
notice.
there, you're not even gonna be able to
Yeah,
tell.
I mean, I play on CRTs, so you know I'm kind of used to a droning sound.
Yeah, just
while
kind of
you play
used to
me.
the
Yeah.
Some sort of static hum.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, Nightcrawler, you liked it?
It was different than what I thought it would be. The way that it was advertised, at least, because like I know it's a movie about like a guy who films accidents and like the aftermath and like sells it to news organizations so that way they could make money off of it.
Yeah.
I knew that was like the whole big thing of it. What I thought the movie was going to end up being is like, and it ended up not being, is I thought it was going to be like he couldn't like keep up with some of the bigger name guys, and so he actually started, you know, causing car accidents. He started actually like doing the break-ins and like actually like becoming a murderer just so that way he could get to the story first before them. I thought that's where it was going, which
No.
kind of, but not really.
Not to that extent, anyway.
That's the thing is, I kind of thought it was going to be pushed further than what it actually was, but it is still basically a guy who like hates humanity, so he's like filming it at its worst so that way he could have like a sense of like, yeah, all you fucking deserve it, kind of.
He's a garbage person.
Yeah, he
if
definitely plays a garbage person in that movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Nightcrawler a lot. I think it's really interesting to watch Jake Gyllenhaal be Jake Gyllenhaal, but like creepy.
Yeah.
So Jake Gyllenhaal. Yeah, it's really good. And you watch Peacekeeper.
Peacemaker.
Maker. He makes peace. He doesn't keep peace. You're right.
Yeah. But yeah, watch Peacemaker on HBO. Really good show. It actually ended up being way better than I expected it to be.
It's incredible.
Like, yeah, it is. John Cena was really good at like yeah, that'll work. He did a really good job of taking someone who was debatably a one-dimensional character in Suicide Squad and giving him a lot of depth and a lot of character development in there.
Yeah.
Also, there's like a lot of subtext to that movie that like it's not like very in your face about it. Just like you have to be looking for said subtext of like things like having choice and having freedoms and how they kind of counteract with each other, and like what does it mean to actually have choice, and people dealing with like unresolved trauma and like having a lot of stakes in like what they're doing because of said trauma and like how it affects their character and like all these different things. Like it did that really well in a very subtle way that isn't like super in your face, because at the end of the day it is a dark comedy.
Yeah, it's by James Gunn.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a dark comedy no matter what you do.
But
it's
with
great.
with
it's a dark comedy with heart.
it is, and like John Cena actually had like a lot of heart with his character and was also super funny in a lot of those scenes. I still think one of my favorite ones is whenever they're without spoiling too much, whenever they're doing the interview with Garth. Like, so
Yeah.
1 tap for yes, 2 taps for no.
That
Do you
was
understand? Okay.
What's
That
your
didn't work.
favorite color?
Yeah. It's like, all right, no,
This is a yes or no. He can't answer a favorite color. You're gonna go through every color? Yeah.
is your favorite color teal? Why do you care what color he likes?
Yeah, it's a really good show.
Yeah.
I'm very
that-
excited for a season 2.
Yeah, it's gonna be very exciting what they do with that going forward, because I feel like it was successful. I'm not 100% sure.
It
But
was very
People
successful.
talked
Okay.
about it a lot for sure.
yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, it was super successful.
Yeah, it's super successful. It's going to be interesting to see what they do further on down the line with it, because it seems like they have more of a story to tell.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
definitely do.
Yeah. I think one of the funniest things about it, though, is, like, because I really like the intro of it. It's one of those shows that, like,
Yeah.
you want to watch the intro every single time that you watch that show.
Absolutely.
I think one of the things that actually helps is, like, when you look up the lyrics of that song, it is such a nonsense song.
It's great.
Like,
That
it's
band-
literally just buzzwords.
That band just captured
Yeah.
that exact thing so perfectly.
And, like, from what I can tell, I guess that band was made in, like, 2007. It was mostly just making fun of glam rock, and, like, so most of their stuff is meant to be funny, and, like, that song is literally just buzzwords.
Yeah, they captured it, though.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely love that show. I would say 100% recommend it if you have HBO to go watch that, so I don't want to spoil it too much, but it was fantastic. Like, it's super, super funny. It has some super down-to-earth moments. It has good action in it, honestly, during times when there actually is action.
The action's really good.
Yeah. Like I said, like, there's very subtle things, like, without getting too much into it, when it comes to, like, the choice and freedoms of it and stuff like that, there's kind of a subtle subtext that they tried to do with that movie, The Platform, that this actually did better, in my opinion.
Wow.
What? How does that have anything to do with the platform? I don't even know how you connect
So
that.
I connected it because, like, in The Platform, towards the end of that movie, you know how, like, they're on the platform and, like, they're controlling who gets food and how much food that they get because, like, they start up on a higher floor.
Uh-huh.
And in a way, they become, like, they're taking choice away from people, and by taking that choice away from them, trying to save other people, they become, like, the new oppressors of the platform of that. And then the butterflies that are in Peacekeeper are in a more
This is a
worldwide way.
weird-
I'm not
Weird
following this
comparison.
connection at all, Robbie.
Really?
Yes.
Because the way that I see, because, like, that was the thing about the butterflies, like, because that was their whole spiel, is that the reason why they were taking over, like, all these celebrities and, like, all these high-profile people is because they saw that Earth was destroying itself in the same way that they destroyed their planet, and they're going to try to save them by becoming their new overlords.
Is this a, like,
Did you just, like,
major
just
spoiler?
watch the platform or something?
No.
These are nowhere near the same. I've got to say that, Rob. These are nowhere near the
They're
same
similar.
thing.
No.
That reality cooking show was way closer to this.
Reality cooking?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It's Gordon Ramsay. It's called Next Level Chef, and literally it's 3 levels of chef, and the ones at the bottom get the least of the ingredients to cook with. That's way closer than...
I mean, when it comes, like, the actual plot of it, I'm saying the subtext of said plot.
No, I'm out. No, I disagree entirely. Not anywhere near close. No.
I won't fight with you about it, but anyways, that's how I saw it.
I just don't see it, man. I just don't see it.
I definitely saw it, but that's what I'm saying, though, is, like, it does subtext very well of just, like, things that are very much, like, not in your face about it. Like, one good example about, well, I want to say good examples of it, but it's going to be just more of me spoiling the show if I give, like, a bunch of examples of, like,
Yeah,
things that
I'm
I
gonna
like and
say
didn't
I
like.
do want to give this show a shot at some point. So
Yeah.
as little as I should know, I'd like to keep that.
Yeah,
I really have only seen just one scene out of context.
And that's fair. The most that I could say, like, because this is just, like, stuff that you find out in the very first episode, is the Peacekeeper is supposed to go back to prison after the events of Suicide Squad, and instead is told to, like, do this Black Ops mission looking for these people that they codenamed Butterflies.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like, which doesn't tell you almost anything about that show, but it's definitely super funny, has a lot of heart in it. Like, all the characters did fantastic.
Definitely not like the platform at all.
Yeah, it's literally nothing like the platform.
Okay, I'm
The
gonna
subtext.
say, you guys, we cannot just we can't have another one of these arguments.
That's
where,
why
like-
I'm not arguing with him.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, this is towards the entire. We can't have another one of these things where it's just the back and forth of you guys keep, like, bringing up, like, it's nothing like that, and, like, not, like, adding anything to it, just, like, trying to remind Robbie that, I guess. Like, we can't
Yeah.
have another one of those, okay? I'm just saying that.
I'm trying not to have
Yeah.
one of those, but
Just saying, man.
I don't know.
You have said
We'll
it.
talk about it afterwards.
Yeah, you guys can yell at
We
each
can,
other
yeah, we
later.
can yell at each other afterwards because we were peeking there for a second, just, like, slightly raising our voices.
Okay.
Decide to hold eat.
All right.
Okay.
Other than that, I watched a couple documentaries. Like I said, I finally watched Class Action Park, which,
Well, we'll probably talk about that later. We
Yeah.
have 30 more minutes.
other than that, the only thing I was going to say about that is, like, that's super Lord of the Flies, that documentary.
just like saying buzzwords.
I am not just saying buzzwords. Do you really want to taste it?
It has nothing to do with Lord of the Flies.
It's very Lord of the Flies-esque is what I'm saying.
Are you watching like the same things?
Am I just getting a different message than you guys?
Apparently.
I think it's just a matter of you draw connections in different ways.
Probably.
Like, because I mean, I'm more like on board when you say stuff like that because I also draw connections in weird ways.
Yeah.
It's just like, again, we can't like just talk about this for 30 minutes.
I mean, it's Lord of the Flies in the same way that McDonald's is Lord of the Flies.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both controlled by teenagers, so.
What?
Yeah, teenagers work there, man.
Yeah. I'm also trying to go by this quickly so that way you guys can just move on.
I do actually think I know where Robbie's coming from now.
Yeah.
I guess, but like,
I mean, another movie I was going to say.
Explain how you came to that conclusion.
I came to that conclusion because it basically showed about how, like, it was hired by, like, a bunch of teenagers worked at Action Park. And with them working there, they basically ran the entire place. And it was a place that was considered to be chaos and anarchy because it was because it was being controlled by teenagers to the point where, like, at some points, for entertainment reasons, they were basically trying to kill each other. Between, like, trying to, like, you know, drop stuff on people who were doing the slides or, like, things like that. Like, with how chaotic and anarchy-wise it was, and the fact that it was being basically ran by teenagers while a guy just laundered money out of it, made me think because it's a bunch of kids that are, like, running it and causing a bunch of chaos, it's very Lord of the Flies-esque. Moving on.
Okay.
Another thing that I watched was the Heaven's Gates documentary, which was super crazy to learn about that. Like, not quite as crazy as Action Park because, like, every single time they talk about something with Action Park, it's like, okay, that doesn't sound bad. What? Kind of thing. Like, oh yeah, like they had these boat rides there where there were just snakes in the water and there was gasoline and oil just leaking into the water.
Universal had that same problem, to be fair.
Yeah. I mean,
Not to be fair. To be
also-
awful.
Universal didn't have a 360 or a slide that like put you through a loop where you got scraped by teeth, though.
Yeah, they didn't have a decapitator slide in Universal, I don't believe.
Yeah, I mean,
Nor
that's
did they
why
have-
were a worse amusement park.
Yeah, like hearing about Action Park and like all the crazy stories that happened there and like how basically like all these kids are talking about how they got hurt there, but they're also propagating people to get hurt there and everything was super crazy to learn about that. Other than that, the last thing that I did watch was a movie that I thought was pretty interesting called Accident Man, which
Is that the one that's in first person? No,
No.
that's like something Henry or something.
Hardcore Henry.
Hardcore Henry. Accident Man was a Scott Adkins movie where he plays a hitman who basically what's what I'm thinking of?
Spaghetti.
His style of assassination is to make it look like accidents, therefore he's known as the Accident Man.
Okay, fair enough.
An easy way to describe that movie is like almost John Wick if it was directed by Guy Ritchie. Without giving up too much about that movie, but that's enough about like what I watched this week because I know that Dry and Sam probably want to talk about things that they watched.
Not me, apparently.
Never E. E doesn't watch things. Not when his elliptical is broken.
It's not broken. Dry is distracted, so why don't you go, Sam?
So yeah, I already mentioned that we watched Doctor Strange.
Right.
Um,
Which I love the first one. I'd love to see the second one.
the second one, the last part of it is like Evil Dead. Honestly.
So I haven't seen it, but like everything online is saying like because Sam Raimi did it, he just tried like fit the Evil Dead into the end of it because he could.
Pretty much, it's insane. Also, the movie itself is just really dark, and yeah.
He snuck Evil Dead 4 into doing Doctor Strange.
Nice.
It's quite easily the most gory and violent of any Marvel movie, any Marvel thing, even if you include the Netflix shows.
Wow.
It's straight up just a horror movie. That
Maybe
happens
not the
to-
comics, though.
Not the comics, no. But out of like all of the MCU stuff, it is far and away more gruesome than anything.
Okay.
To the point to where if you have a kid who's, I don't know, 12 or 13 and they don't like horror movies, like, do not take them to this movie. Do not let them watch this movie.
They'd be fine.
I don't think so.
I watched fucking worse when I was 12 or 13.
If you're a 10, 12 to 13-year-old kid who does not like horror movies, Sam, do not take them to a horror movie.
That'll be fine.
This is a horror movie. It's straight up a horror movie. It is Evil Dead PG-13.
Okay. Interesting.
I like it a whole lot. It's very, very good.
Yeah.
Me and Sam watched an awful movie last night,
It was called
The Deep House.
The Deep House.
It's a deep
It's about an
house.
yes. It's about an underwater haunted house, which
Yum.
it's not nearly as scary as they tried to make it.
That's like insane though, because I genuinely would say underwater is probably one of the most terrifying
Right?
places you can be.
But it wasn't.
But also, why would there be haunted house
So,
there?
yeah, it sounds
I
like
don't know. It doesn't really explain that at all.
So they tried doing Soma and did a terrible job with it, I guess?
No, it was
No.
just it was just an underwater haunted house. There's like 3 fish scares too.
Fish
Yeah.
Like, legitimately, it's
There's
like
something around the corner. Ah, it's a bass!
Yes. Yes.
they literally just were like, okay, I got it. Haunted house, underwater.
Underwater.
How do they breathe? We just make them scuba for like an hour.
Mhm.
Then what? What do you mean? Well, you've seen like a haunted house movie, right? Yeah. Well, let's just do that. There's like no reason for it to be
No
underwater.
reason.
That is-
Literally.
That is
There's also
genuinely so
Satan
dumb.
rooms. There's like multiple Satan rooms.
Underwater.
Yeah.
Like being underwater literally has nothing.
Nothing
What do you
except
mean?
for
They
motion
added fish
sickness.
scares.
It makes you. It started to make me feel sick because it was like found footage. They're like YouTubers, apparently not very good ones.
Oh
They're
yeah, you know
shitty
YouTubers that just
YouTube-
scuba
Yeah,
underwater
Yeah.
in haunted
They're
houses.
They're like YouTuber, like urbexers. So it was like first person, underwater, shaky cam, horrible, and it made me
I feel like you
get
can't like
motion sickness.
really do shaky cam underwater.
You can,
Apparently you
it's bad.
can.
As long as you don't mind the mic going when you shake it.
Just like you can't like move that
Also-
fast underwater.
Also, since it's underwater for the majority of it, it's all dubbed, but like
Mhm.
really badly too,
Yeah.
because they just keep talking and talking, even though you know that at the end a problem is going to be that they're going to be running out of oxygen. And they keep saying that.
Oh my god, we're running out of oxygen.
But
Whatever
they
you
keep,
do, don't keep using the oxygen. All right, I will stop using the oxygen right now, this moment, very now, correctly right
Yes.
I'm not yet. Like
it's
no
not
joke.
even a
It,
joke.
it is legitimately one of the worst movies I've seen in a very long time.
That is really disappointing because
Is it
again, like underwater is such a great
I
place
know.
to do scary stuff. There is terrifying things.
Deep
underwater.
water is like the scariest thing in my mind, but like
Except
the-
what if the
it's just-
ghosts also had to follow the rules of they're also slow in water?
yeah,
So
they're just swimming ghosts.
I mean, I'm saying like,
Swimming.
why even do ghosts? Like you're underwater. There's genuinely terrifying stuff there.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
if-
just ghosts though.
So, if they want to do like a genuinely scary underwater movie, I think the easiest thing to probably do, at least according to Ask a Mortician about it, would probably be like an underwater cave. Because apparently
Yeah.
it's super easy to get stuck in underwater caves. And not only have people died in underwater caves,
Lot.
the
yeah.
people who went to recover the bodies also,
Also
died
died.
trying to recover the bodies.
That's actually extremely common.
Yeah.
The Descent,
Yeah.
is that movie, and it's way better. I don't even like The Descent, but it's a way better movie than this. It's just boring, and it feels like. And Sam put this on her Instagram last night. It feels like it's the second draft of a script that needed 5 or 6 drafts, and then the director said you have to follow every single
Exactly.
word.
Exactly.
You can't change it all. We have to do another take. Every single word as it is written. And you're like, okay.
And it was written very badly, very poorly.
poorly written.
And it was written like, hey, we do the stuff and have to find water, the house,
Yes,
water.
absolutely.
We have to find water.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's good. He's like, behind the store is 1 million views, or his YouTube channel.
Yeah, because he's like trying to do a YouTube thing. He's like, behind this doors are 1 million views.
That's how YouTubers talk.
And then he's like, oh, a jump scare. That always gets the likes.
That's how YouTubers talk.
Yeah,
You know.
It's
Oh my god.
awful.
That's
It's like
that's
they-
what Mr. Beast says every time he records. yes, this money giving to poor will get me 1
So
million
many.
view.
Yeah.
Smash like.
Do the homeless person jump scare for a like.
It's like the. It's
I
like
didn't say it, Mr. Beast did.
It's like they watched one like Urbex video and they're like, but what if it's underwater?
It's such like, I don't know how that gets past the cutting room floor.
I don't know. I have no fucking clue how that happened.
They do like a lot of indie stuff from what I could tell, and none of it's
Okay.
good.
Where did you find this?
Amazon.
Oh.
That actually makes sense. One thing that I found out recently is apparently, like, whenever you submit your movies, you can't just, like, submit it for free.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Amazon,
you can just
so, like,
put anything
That's
on
why Bad Ben was on Amazon.
Mhm.
It's why
Mhm.
this movie was on Amazon.
Why don't we just make a shitty fucking movie and throw it on Amazon?
We
Maybe
could.
we'll get $1.
We genuinely could.
Let's do it.
And then we review it on our podcast and be like, this movie sucks.
This movie's fucking
I don't know what
garbage.
the hell
I don't-
we were thinking.
I don't know what asshole let this get on Amazon.
Why is one of the characters just animated? Like, he does, they don't acknowledge it.
They don't acknowledge that he's a plushine cat just on a stick.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah, so that's what we've been up to.
We've watched some other things too.
Oh, we started watching Our Flag Means Death,
Oh,
or Our Flag Means Honor.
Pirate show,
Death.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
Our Flag Means Death.
It's funny.
pirate
That's
show,
funny.
right?
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, pirate show.
We also watched that
So
Demon
Raven.
Witch House. Demon Witch movie the other night. What was it called? I don't
Hell
remember.
House.
Demon Witch movie. I don't even remember. Oh no,
Must
that's
not have
probably a
been very
bad sign.
interesting.
Yeah.
The Wicked and the Glowing or something.
The Wicked and the Glowing.
That one, Sam was watching when we got back, and she was like, "This sucks."
Oh no, that was the house that Jack builds.
Oh, sorry.
That has some genuinely disturbing moments, but only because like it's
the
designed
first
to be disturbing.
the first half is very disturbing, and then it just goes more off the rails somehow. Like it's fucking Dante's Inferno. Then
It's Lars von Trier, so if you know
Yeah.
the director, then you kind of know what you're getting out of that. Honestly,
it's
Did-
yeah.
Did you watch a movie called The Sadness?
no, that's just newly added.
Just
Okay.
Sag.
It's not even on my watched.
Maybe you just dreamt you watched it.
What?
Was
like
it?
you watch this,
Was it on Shudder?
It was on. I'm on Shutter looking at my thing, and it's
and
not
all that's
even in
popping
my
up is
thing.
The Sadness.
This is what our movie is going to be about, guys. You guys watched a horror movie that disappeared, and the ghost of the horror movie kills you.
Oh no! And now you're part of the movie.
Fucking hope so. Be the most interesting thing about that.
I like you're like desperately trying to find this movie you don't care about.
I just want to know the name now. You go
I mean,
about
this-
your business.
This sounds like that time that like I could have swore that High School of the Dead was a video game, and I kept looking it up, and like all I popped up was like manga and anime. It's like, no, I swear that there's like an RPG Maker game of High School of the Dead. I swear this was an actual thing, and I kept on looking it up, could not find anything, and turns out it was Corpse Party.
Oh, I was
that
going
looking
to ask. Oh, you
I
found it?
found it.
Yeah.
It's under a good scare category on Shudder.
One.
It is a Shudder exclusive, right? Yes, it does claim to be a Shudder exclusive,
Which is why they're like, it's a good scare. You want to watch it?
and it is called The Dark and the Wicked.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that there is.
A good scare?
I wouldn't even. It's not a scare. It's just kind of makes your skin go It's a finger cutting scene. It's real gross.
Oh yeah.
That part is pretty good, but the rest of it's just sort of boring.
Yeah.
Like it's not interesting in any other way. It's just sort of boring.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, and then it doesn't really explain anything at the end.
you guys
either.
finished this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing happens for like the whole
Why
movie.
did you finish this movie?
I don't know. That's what you do.
You guys just have like the worst sunk cost fallacy.
I mean, it's an hour and a half. Like if it's
You could just do anything else.
it's an hour and a half.
But what if it
Like,
gets
mean,
better? What
yeah.
if it like is a gem, a hidden gem? It was.
I mean, I kind of did
What
something
is it?
similar. Like whenever The Human Centipede 3 was on Netflix, and it was the first time I saw one. Like whenever they had the 5-star rating on Netflix, it was the very first time I saw some really crap movies that were 3 stars, and that one was Human Centipede 3 was a 1-star, and I had to ask like, how bad is a 1-star rated movie on Netflix? And that is genuinely one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life. And I sat all the way through it and then hated myself for
Here's a crazy. If I'm like slightly tired of something, I'll just shut it off. Like I'm like I can do
I should
literally
have.
anything
Like,
else.
there was writings on the wall in the first 10 minutes for me to shut this movie off, but I just prevailed because I don't know.
But, like, if I did that with movies that I wasn't enjoying at first, then there's, like, a bunch of horror movies that I would not have actually watched all of. Like, The Babadook, I did not like the first 30, 40 minutes of that movie. But I think it recovers because that's kind of what horror movies do. Is thematically, like, by the end, if it's a good horror movie, then it'll come back around and, like, the things that didn't work when you were watching it the first time, on the next time they work even better. That's, like, a lot of horror movies. So you can't just, like, abandon a horror movie 30 minutes in.
I mean, there's another one we were talking about bringing to the podcast at some point in time. I can't remember the name of it. One where, like, that girl moves to, like, that house in the middle of the woods with her mom and, like, is really upset about it and ends up summoning a demon.
Grandparents.
Oh, not Wonder Wickets.
Definitely not the golfing game.
That's what we're playing.
It starts with a W, though.
Yeah, I can't
Is it
remember the name of
Wicked?
it.
Witch
Is
in
it
the
just
Woods.
Wicked? I'm gonna have to put you
Maybe?
down for a second. E.
I don't know.
Okay.
Wicked. Movie.
We also watched another movie on
Was it also bad?
Netflix.
Well, So, like, that's the
it
thing about
was
the movie that
okay.
we're talking about, too, is, like, the start of it is just, like, super boring, but, like, midway through, it gets really good.
I typed Woods Witch movie into Google and
And you got 7,000 results?
No,
actually, I
like,
got
6.
7.
The Witch.
I have it. I don't have them in here anymore, do I?
I don't know about in here, but you do definitely have that movie. Like, because we watched it on DVD.
Yeah, I bought it. I bought it without knowing what it was going to be.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, like, midway through, you're like, this movie's kind of boring. And then, like, it just started getting good.
Yeah. Okay, for some reason when I type into, like, my film thing where I put all my movies, I put in W.
Nothing.
And both of the movies don't even have W's in them.
He puts in W, and Iron Man 2 and horror Do Not Watch Alone came up.
Let me see if I put in another W-E, W...
I?
Ooh, that's closer. It might be in my not show. Oh, this is going to bother the shit out of me.
Yeah, we're going to be tearing apart your DVDs after we're done with this Twitch
I'm
stream.
tearing apart my DVDs right now. I'll be back.
Okay.
Start talking about Breaking Bad.
So I get this microphone again.
Yeah, I didn't like tell Jiraiya I was gonna talk about Breaking Bad because I'm 5 episodes in, but he wrote I'm talking about it, so here we go.
So yes, talk about the next
That's
5
like a
episodes.
third of the season.
Yeah, like,
I try to like, cause it's like Breaking Bad's an interesting one to talk about, cause like, it starts melting in your mind a lot. I would say.
it might be why me and Drya were like, kind of like, oh yeah, this happens, right? And like, no, that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah,
And then,
that was really funny, cause like, it was on one of these episodes. I talked about how like I saw the pizza scene and it was like kind of funny. You guys were talking about how they were like, oh yeah, and it has the joke about how they don't cut the pizza and bring the savings to you, and you like kept assuring me
like,
that
yeah,
I
like-
just must have forgotten it, and it was in the first 3 seasons. And then
and turns out it happens in season 4.
yeah, and then I texted you guys, hey, in season 4, episode 2, that's when they make the joke.
Yeah.
It was just really funny to me.
It's called Pie Wacket.
Pie whack.
Pie whack it.
Oh,
Oh,
I
shit,
I mean,
it
it
was
did
up here
have a
then.
W in it.
Yeah, that had a W.
That's why. Yeah, I didn't know it was because I was looking.
That
for
also might be
Ws.
why I couldn't remember it, because like
Fair enough.
pie whack, it's not exactly a word that just sticks in your brain forever.
No, it's really not.
So yeah. We're just watching all the characters become awful, unlikable people so far.
What about Jesse?
Yeah, I would say him too. In a way, not like unlikable, but he's like definitely deconstructing as a character.
like a lot of season 4 is him like
Well,
dealing with the guilt of what happened
I would
at the end
say
of season 3.
you might want me to explain it so you don't, in case. But like it starts and like he immediately has broken down because he just killed what's his name?
Science guy.
Yeah, Bill Nye the Science Guy, and like the weight of that on him, and Gus puts a plan out to kill Walt, and well, the plan was to kill Walt, but he had Jesse kill the only person who could take over Walt's position, and it sends a message basically, which Jesse realizes means like he's not gonna kill us. Like he'll have many opportunities to. If he didn't now, he's done.
Yeah.
Which is like neat. But like immediately Jesse like starts going back to snorting meth and
Snorting meth.
yeah, they're snorting meth. What do you
Yeah,
want me to
he
say?
straight up takes a meth rock, smashes it on a table, and snorts it. In
Like,
the
what
show.
do you want me to say? Is there a cooler way to put it, Sam? Huh?
Can you snort meth?
They do in
Yeah.
the show. I don't know.
I don't know if
It's
you're
not
supposed to,
preferable, but you
definitely
can.
Yeah, he's snorting meth. Like, I don't know what to tell you. But like, he basically just lets it. He just is like, all right, let's party, guys. He gets Badger and Stick Man. I don't remember his name.
Yeah, close enough.
And like, they're partying, and like, it's a big party, and it's like as the episodes went on, it gradually shifted away from being a party to his house is just a crack den.
Yeah.
So like, and Jesse himself is barely like caring about anything. Is where his constructed. One of the funniest parts is like, he does a thing where like he just grabs a girl to come to his room, like, and it's like, oh, okay, they're gonna have sex, and then they just play Sonic and Sega All Stars Racing for the Xbox 360.
So your perfect date then.
I mean, I wouldn't want to date them, but yes, that would be a very enjoyable afternoon.
That's what we're saying is your perfect date is because that's all they do is play that game.
If my perfect date is one I wouldn't know it's a date on, yeah.
All right, I'll keep that in mind.
But
Notepad's right there. Write it down. Write it down.
yeah, and like, Walt and Skyler are like getting ready to to buy a car wash, and it's really like, it shows how Skyler is also kind of becoming a shitty person. Like, she sabotages the guy who owns the car wash and undersells him on the bid for the car wash, but the car wash guy has to take it because he's gonna lose everything.
Yeah.
I do kind of like how they did that, just because like she is becoming a shitty person for that, but like how she gives him a fair offer and he says, your husband
slighted me, basically.
well, yeah, he said derogatory things about my eyebrows.
Yeah.
And so he wanted didn't he say it was like $2.3 million?
No, it was originally 10, and then he boosted it up to 20 million.
Okay. I thought it was like somewhere like the hundreds of thousands range, and like she's like, I even added like an extra 20,000 on
Yeah,
here as like an
she
offer.
offered $879,000, and the car wash guy said 10 million.
Okay.
And then 20 million after like being like, your husband's a piece of shit.
Which is the right call.
Yeah, but like, yeah, it's like crazy to see Skyler, and like, I think this part is what like really made me understand why her and Walt got together, though, which is weird to say the fourth season, but like, it really shows they're kind of two sides of the same coin in a lot of ways. And like,
To an extent, yeah.
yeah, and like, obviously Walt's a very different person than what he started as, but like, I think I kind of see the connection really now more than ever.
Yeah.
Which they were divorced, so obviously there's a lack of connection. Yeah, and like, Hank's going fucking stir crazy because he's just stuck at his house all day and can't do anything and feels like a terrible person.
Which you've probably seen the meme of it now at this point.
Nope. I have
The
seen
collection
zero. I have seen zero memes about Hank, quite frankly.
Don't
You've
spoil
seen
it.
his collection, right?
His minerals.
Yeah.
I've seen, they show him like bits and pieces. I haven't seen like a full collection, so if there's something there, I don't.
It
Don't
was
tell me.
basically like somebody would say something and somebody would respond online with, Jesus Christ, Marie, they're minerals.
Oh,
Like, that was the whole meme.
I don't even know that one.
I saw
I
that
think
all the time on Facebook back in the day.
that's my issue. I never went on Facebook, but like,
That's the problem.
Yeah.
it was show, and then like his old buddy who helps bust Marie out of getting put in jail for being a fucking kleptomaniac.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, there's a new case. We might have found someone. And is his name? I almost want to say his name's Wayne. But like, the smart Bill Nye the Science Guy left a notebook. Sorry. And like, they're looking over it, and then Hank's like, oh yeah, this was Heisenberg. There we go. Everything's solved. And Walt, being the fucking biggest piece of shit, is so mad that anyone else could possibly be mistaken for his work.
Yeah.
And it's such a... I fucking hate Walt so much, and it's great. Because it's like, he is literally the cause of every single issue he ever has.
Yeah, and it definitely just comes down to ego at this point with him.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
Yeah, and it's like, great to see Jesse went on a collection thing with I don't even remember his name, the bodyguard type guy for Gus.
yeah.
Like the badass who does all the killing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and like, because I guess, yeah, because he wanted to kill Jesse, saying he's a liability because Jesse kind of doesn't care for his own life basically anymore.
Yeah.
But like on the thing, like learned, oh no, Jesse still doesn't want to die.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very much like, it makes it seem like he wants to die until you realize like this isn't so much he wants to die as much as he's begging for help, but he doesn't know how to say it.
Yeah, and like, there's like little things he does. Like he definitely like offers the olive branch in a way. I guess this is the opposite because the olive branch is usually to the person hurting. But like he's like, hey Walt, you want to do something? You want to go karting or something? And Walt just ignores him.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
Security guard. You're talking about Mike, aren't you? The security guard.
Yeah,
guy?
Mike. There we
Yeah,
go.
the one with the white goatee and the bald head.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So that's basically where I left. Also, Walt and Skyler are probably back together, unless Walt's gonna be a piece of shit, which probably we'll see. That's where I'm at.
It's very
with
back
Big
and forth.
Still a great show. I'm like waiting for something right now. I don't know what it is though. Like I'm
You
waiting
feel like
for
something's on the horizon.
yeah,
just not
something's
sure what
definitely
it
on the
is.
horizon. Like, and I know like random things that are just gonna happen because people love being dumb and spoiling random things. But like, I'm like not sure how they get to that point yet, which is great for a show. Like, I'm like, how do we get to point B here? I know where point B is, but the path there seems to be parallel.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I
Yeah.
don't want to spoil anything, so I won't say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say I feel like the show is definitely one of those like they had an idea of how to start it and how they want it to end, and then they just kind of like tried to figure it out going through of like how we get from point A to point B.
Yeah, that's the fun way to write stories, in my opinion. But
Yeah.
it usually doesn't lead to a cohesive story.
Yeah, they had it pretty planned out actually. Like they would let certain actors come in and they would like develop it from there. But they really did have an idea of like this is where we want the story to go. Like we need to
Right.
develop it up to here, and we don't have a point past here, so we're not going to write past that. Like they did exactly what they wanted to do. It's commendable because a lot of shows won't do that. They'll be like, "We're hugely successful. Why would we stop now?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the biggest one that I like to point out for shows that do that is Supernatural.
Supernatural, I think, went through phases.
Yeah, but I remember whenever, because they were saying that they had an idea of like what they wanted to tell storyline wise, but they couldn't tell it in like 3 or 4 seasons. So they're like, we're gonna have at least like 6 or 7 seasons, is I think is what they originally planned for it, and then it just got so super popular that they just kept on writing for it.
So the showrunner and the original creator of Supernatural stayed on till he was done. I think it was end of season 6.
Yeah.
Was his original plan. It was 5 or 6, I can't remember. Then he was gone from like 7 till 12. And then he did 13 and 14, and then he wasn't involved in 15. Because he was like, okay, I have like another story to tell. There's more for me to tell with this. I'm going to come back and tell that story. And then he did that, which is good because seasons, I think it was 10 and 11 are literally fucking garbage. You can, if it weren't for how insanely integral the plot points are that are put into that for later seasons, they're super skippable because I think even the acting and like so much of seasons 10 and 11 are just fucking hot garbage.
It was basically like people just wanted a paycheck and they didn't care otherwise about it.
Yeah, and it like got super, it was like in a weird transition point to where like they're still trying to be the ghosts and like the monsters thing, but they're way into all the demon storylines already.
Right.
And so like there would be like 5 episodes like insane like demons and stuff like that, and then be like, we also have to fight this werewolf now. But like they literally just fought like an army of demons before, and now you're supposed to be like scared of a werewolf. Like it wasn't cohesive. But yeah,
I like
like
the
that show.
Scooby-Doo episode.
Scooby-Doo episode's incredible.
Also, I did watch a movie with an asterisk though. Yeah,
How do you make an asterisk?
it's just that. I don't know if you can make it with your hand. Close enough. I watched the SpongeBob SquarePants movie Rehydrated, which was over 300 animators got together and remade the SpongeBob movie, the original one.
Weird.
As well as like they redid all of the audio.
Weird.
It
Why?
For fun. You always ask why for these questions. The answer is always just they thought it was fun.
Because they can.
Huh. Seems
And
like a lot of work for fun.
it was. I mean, like each animator does 10 to 20 seconds of animation.
So it's just like
It's
constantly changing style?
Yeah.
Huh.
I like it a lot. Like, reanimated is a very common thing to do. Like, people will reanimate an episode of stuff. But like this was a very bigger, grander scale, and usually they'll use the original audio of the series of whatever they reanimate. So it was like very impressive for them to redo all of the audio.
Huh.
It was really interesting to watch. I love reanimated stuff because I love seeing everyone's different art styles and how they like interpret a scene in a lot of ways. And I'm gonna say it is probably way more cohesive than you're thinking, Jiraiya.
I just imagine it like goes from claymation to like a guy in his underwear and like a kid pole. And
Yes,
then, like,
actually.
okay, then
There are times I just feel like
What?
like they animators will like have a reference of who is before them, so they can make sure like the characters are gonna be in the same spot though. So like it's still really easy to follow. But yeah, some like there are segments that are just like guys in front of the green screens.
yeah. There was something about you showed me something like this before.
I might have.
I didn't like it.
I mean, I know I showed you something like this before, but it's completely different.
So not like this.
Yes and no.
I don't know if I have shown you something like this. I don't think I've shown you a reanimated.
Somebody did.
So like one thing that they did when they made the Dante's Inferno game is they made an animated movie based off of like the same storyline. So it's like Dante's Inferno, but it's
it's basically exactly what he's talking about.
Okay.
Is that kind of thing.
But yeah, with Dante's Inferno, they had 7 different directors.
Yeah,
for
I
it,
remember
and
that.
each director had different animation style for it.
Yeah,
I was gonna say I think E would find that interesting.
I probably would. I don't remember. Maybe I did at some point show you one of these. I really like them, but of course I'm like an artist, and I like really like seeing all the art styles together to form like a really interesting thing like this.
And I like good movies.
Fuck off.
Aaron, I think I showed you the Game Grumps thing, where like they had a whole bunch of different animators animate a segment that they did for one of their videos.
Which episode was that, Robbie? Do
The
you
one
remember?
where they're playing kids something.
Okay. Because I was gonna say I actually was involved with one of those projects,
Oh.
and the first one technically.
Yeah, this one was it was one wherever I can't remember exactly what game it was, like, but Aaron was
Yeah,
like,
I think it was Battle
completely
Kid.
might have been Battle Kid,
Yeah.
yeah. Like he was like freaking out.
Yeah. I
During
know
the
what
time,
you're
and like he
talking
started
about.
like was ad-libbing stories, and like so they would just animate the stories that he was ad-libbing while he was trying to beat this boss.
Weird.
Yeah, but anyway,
I wouldn't like it. I don't think.
no.
It was pretty funny.
But basically, I'd say I think Rehydrated is actually a really cool piece of art, like to watch, and I applaud the effort that was put into it for sure.
Yeah, it's a ton of work.
Yeah, probably. I think they were working on it for a couple of years.
I imagine that seems like
Yeah.
a lot, man.
As being in one of those things, the hardest part is making sure everyone finishes their part.
Yeah, because then if somebody falls through, then like, what do you do?
Yeah, you have to like make sure to get back up people just in case, and
Yeah.
you have to keep hounding people a lot. But yeah, very cool. There is another version of this with Shrek, but that one's a little more off the rails.
That's the one you showed me.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I don't
didn't
remember
like
showing
it.
Mystery
you
solved.
Didn't like it.
That's fair. I don't remember showing you that. That one's like more off the walls than this, I would say. But like, yeah, I watched it, and that is a very, very cool piece of art. Video game wise, I don't know how much time you want to spend, but there's definitely one more I want to talk about.
Go ahead and do that, and then we'll stop this stream and change a couple of
Alright.
things around, and we'll come back.
Yeah,
Okay.
I played the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe because that
Ooh.
came out recently.
I've heard things about it.
I think it is genuinely my game of the year so far.
You played Stanley Parable before, right?
Yep.
I played portions of it. I never completed it. From what I understand, it's like a 1-hour segment at the end of it,
No,
right?
I would super say no.
Really?
No. Like, it is intertwined with the entire thing, I would argue.
Really? Because
Yeah.
I, from everything I understood about it, is like there's a door and it says like new content.
Yeah.
And like that's it.
That's the start.
Huh.
Like I basically had 2-3-ish hour segments to do a bunch of the new content because it's like intertwined with the original content in a lot of ways actually.
Weird.
Yeah. I think I could see like why someone would tell you it's basically just another couple hours of an ending, but like it's also really interesting commentary about the creator's original like view on what Stanley Parable was and
Yeah.
the reaction of it.
Yeah.
And it's another thing I think is just like a very amazing piece of art in a lot of ways. And I usually say I don't like walking sims, but I always forget like Stanley Parable is a walking sim.
Yeah,
Like it's just
it
straight up a walking sim. But
it's a walking sim but with comedy.
yeah, I don't know. Like there's a lot, and I really enjoy Stanley Parable for a lot of reasons. I think it's a very good commentary about the illusion of choice in video games. It's generally just extremely funny in my opinion. Yeah, I loved Ultra Deluxe. I think it was very interesting. I got every not time-based achievement on it so far. I still have to play it for the entire duration of a Tuesday and not play the video game for 10 years.
I think it's 15 now, isn't it?
Nope, 10.
Jesus.
It was
Oh.
5.
Okay.
I legitimately got the don't play for 5 years achievement on the old one.
How did you manage that?
I know. It's like I played it in like 2016 and then didn't play it. Wow. But yeah, a beautiful piece of art in my opinion, and very like interesting. I think like it's weird because I wouldn't inherently say like you have to play the original Stanley Parable, but I think the extra content is enhanced from if you did play the original Stanley Parable back in the day.
That's my understanding.
Because like
of
it is like literally intertwined about like the creator's thoughts, and it also is just a very interesting commentary about sequels, honestly.
Yeah.
So yeah, beautiful game of the year so far. I probably don't expect anything else to beat it. I don't remember anything like insane coming out. But yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, that's post credits.
Yeah.
We talked about a couple things for a tiny little bit of time. We're going to stop our stream
Right now.
here. And we're going to be down for just a couple minutes. We're going to change a couple things around. Probably change a mic around, I think. We're going to try
Let
that
Sam
out.
cool off a little bit.
Let Sam walk out of the room for 2 seconds. And then we'll come back and we'll be playing some Wonder Wickets and some other stuff probably.
Yeehaw.
All right, so we'll be right back.